Now, the next toxicant you are supposed to learn is about the automobile emissions. Okay, automobile exhaust or automobile emissions. The automobile emissions are the major source of air pollution. The major pollutants of automobile exhausts include carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides. It could be nitrogen oxide, nitrous oxide, or nitric oxide, and unburnt hydrocarbons, aldehydes, lead oxides, etc. Okay. In the atmosphere, these exhausts combine with aerosols, atmospheric vapors, and smoke to form smoke. Okay, so these automobile exhausts, they combine with aerosols. What is aerosol? That is the solid particles in the air, isn't it? So it combines with then smoke, atmospheric vapors, that is water vapor. Okay, humidity, it is resultant of the water vapor in the air. So that all these together form what is referred as the smog. Similarly, the nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbons react with each other, that is unburnt hydrocarbons. Okay, and under the influence of UV radiations of sunlight, um, that is what is referred as a photochemical reaction. It forms a photochemical smog. Okay, that is under the influence of UV radiations, uh, nitrogen oxides, unburnt hydrocarbons um, react with each other and form what is referred as a photochemical smog. Okay. And what is produced as a result of this? Powerful oxidants like ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate. It is otherwise referred as PAN. These compounds are produced. Okay, ozone, again at a lower atmospheric layers, that is troposphere, it is actually poisonous, toxic. While at stratosphere, obviously it forms a ozone layer and it is a protective layer. But at the tropospheric layer, ozone is a toxicant. Peroxyacetyl nitrate, PAN, it is again a pollutant. It is a secondary pollutant because it is not directly produced, but as a result of sunlight, effect of UV radiations on the pollutants which are released in the automobile exhaust. So this is a secondary pollutant. Fine. And then these secondary pollutants, they damage ozone, the plant life, that is ozone, it affects the plant directly. And peroxyacetyl nitrate, it leads to formation of photochemical smog. Why it is known as photochemical smog? Because the smog is actually fog plus the other pollutants, isn't it? Here what happens? These are produced as a result of photochemical reaction. That is why it is referred as photochemical smog. Okay, and peroxyacetyl nitrate is primarily responsible for the eye irritation characteristic of photochemical smog. Okay, now prolonged occurrence of smog and photochemical smog is a serious environmental hazard, harmful to man as well as other organisms. In plants, smog causes tissue collapse, necrosis, chlorosis, bleaching, and abnormal color patterns. In man, it may cause respiratory problems, nausea, eye irritations, and influenza, and may sometimes induce even cancer. Photochemical smog may also cause serious health hazards, such as outbreak of bronchitis, asthma, asphyxia, lung diseases, irritation to eye, nose, and throat. Often it causes destruction to vegetation, corrosion of building materials, chipping of paints, death of poultry and dogs, etc. So all these are actually negative effects of the photochemical smog. Okay, now I hope this is clear. The next pollutant is carbon monoxide. Okay, carbon monoxide is a principal constituent of automobile exhaust, and excessive concentration of carbon monoxide reaching the blood, it may cause carbon monoxide poisoning in man and other air-breathing vertebrates. Carbon monoxide poisoning, in turn, is very seriously affecting the uptake and distribution of oxygen by blood. Why is it so? Because hemoglobin has higher affection for carbon monoxide as compared with oxygen. So what happens is, instead of oxygen, a huge amount of carbon monoxide will be transported, and this may cause hypoxia, that is a lesser amount of oxygen reaching the what you call the tissues. Okay, and the affinity of hemoglobin for carbon monoxide is nearly 200 times greater than that of oxygen. So what happens? Hemoglobin combines with carbon monoxide like more readily and rapidly as compared with that of with oxygen, and this forms carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin combining with carbon monoxide, it results in the formation of carboxyhemoglobin. Instead of oxyhemoglobin, the production of carboxyhemoglobin is more rapid and like faster. Once combined with carbon monoxide, hemoglobin becomes unable to combine with oxygen. And moreover, carboxyhemoglobin is more stable than oxyhemoglobin, and it will not easily transform back to free hemoglobin. So when blood gets take more carbon monoxide, most of its hemoglobin gets saturated with carbon monoxide, and very little free hemoglobin will be available for oxygen transport. And this reduces the delivery of oxygen to tissues, and that results in hypoxia or complete anoxia. Hypoxia means reduced oxygen level reaching the oxygen reaching the tissues. Anoxia means almost zero. Okay, so this is because of higher affinity of hemoglobin towards carbon monoxide. Now, the normal carboxyhemoglobin level in human blood is 0.16%, and an average smoker will have an additional 4% as well. So, clinical symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are manifested when the carboxyhemoglobin level exceeds 20%. Okay, so the major symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning includes tiredness, irritations, breathlessness, severe headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, thoracic and abdominal pain, etc. Carboxyhemoglobin saturation above 40% may lead to coma and death. Removal of the intoxicated person from continued exposure to carbon monoxide and administration of oxygen under high pressure may reverse the hypoxic condition and clear the body from carbon monoxide. That is, oxygen is actually flushed into the blood, isn't it? It is like the blood is exposed to a high amount of oxygen, and hence it may take more amount of oxygen. Okay, and hence carbon monoxide can be flushed out from the body. Now, carbon monoxide has a higher affinity for myoglobin than for hemoglobin, and its binding with myoglobin, especially of cardiac muscles, may slow down the cardiac rhythm, and it lowers the heart rate and causes hypotension. Okay, reduced blood pressure. That is hypotension. Binding of carbon monoxide with cytochrome. I suppose you know what is cytochrome. Cytochrome is a compound associated with the mitochondria, isn't it? You may have studied it in your cell biology classes. Cytochrome. And actually, the last part of the respiration, it takes place in the mitochondria, and it is done with the help of cytochrome. So carbon monoxide, it may bind with cytochrome and adversely affect this oxidation reduction reactions in the respiratory chain, and that which is responsible for the final breakdown or oxidation of the glucose molecules and production of ATP, etc. Okay, so that is also negatively affected. Now, the next chemical in automobile exhaust is nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides of automobile exhausts may include nitrogen oxide or nitrous oxides forming NO3 and NO2. These contribute to the formation of secondary air pollutants like ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate, and also in the formation of photochemical smog. In air-breathing animals, including man, yeah, NO2 causes irritation to respiratory tract, emphysema, etc. Also, nitrogen oxides play a significant role in acid rains through the formation of atmospheric nitrous and nitric acids. So what happens over there? Actually, the what you call nitrogen oxides, when it is there in the air, it may combine with water and forms nitric acid and nitrous acid. And this may come down along with the rain, and that is what is referred as acid rain, isn't it? So acid rain, one of the component is nitric acid or nitrous acid, and these are formed by the reaction of the NO3 and NO2 with water molecules. Okay, and how does it reach the atmosphere? It is from the automobile exhaust. So that is also a negative effect of the nitrogen oxides. Clear? Okay. So now, next one we have is the unburnt hydrocarbons. Unburnt hydrocarbons of the automobile exhaust have carcinogenic effects on lungs. Carcinogenic effect means that is, it do have cancer-causing effects. Okay. For example, benzene and benzopyrene are seriously carcinogenic air pollutants, and they induce lung cancer. Apart from these direct effects, hydrocarbons combine with nitrogen oxides and form secondary pollutants such as ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate, and these in turn causes photochemical smog. We can, I hope you can see this particular figure. The NO2, this NO and NO2, which are produced, which are found in the what you call the automobile exhaust. This may combine with unburnt hydrocarbons, and it may result in the formation of hydrocarbon radicals. That, in the presence of oxygen, it forms peroxy radicals, and then it may result in the formation of ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate, and this it is responsible for the formation of the photochemical smog. Okay, this is what results. It will be hazy. Okay, so unburned hydrocarbons are also responsible for the formation of photochemical smog. Okay, so then automobile exhausts also contain lead. Like anti-knock agent is added to reduce the lead, etc., etc. Okay, lead is also a constant of this exhaust, since lead compounds are added to gasoline. Lead is discharged to the atmosphere as lead bromide or lead fluoride. Inhalation of these lead compounds, it lowers hemoglobin synthesis, it damages RBCs and cause anemia, damages to liver and kidney, etc. Okay, this is when lead enters along with the respiratory gases, okay, or inhaled gas. Now, lead can also enter the body through food as well, isn't it? That you will be dealing it under toxic metals or heavy metal entry. Okay, so here we have seen what are the different components in automobile exhaust. That is, one is obviously carbon monoxide. Then second we saw is what you call nitrogen oxides. Then unburnt hydrocarbons, lead, etc. Okay, so I hope it is clear, right? Okay, thank you.